Hi guys, this is Pestily and welcome to another Escape from Tarkov video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the hideout. I have now pretty much maxed mine out for patch 12.12. I'm going to go over why you should upgrade it, what the benefits are, and some little tips and tricks along the way. So, without further ado, let's crack straight into it. So, I'll quickly touch on if you are new to Escape from Tarkov, there is a thing called a hideout, and in that hideout, you can upgrade it to get extra benefits and be able to craft items for either quest progression or for the use that you want to have in raid. There are different terminals within the hideout itself, and you can upgrade them using specific items. So for example, the solar panel upgrade, I need to have money and all these items, as well as my trader at a certain rep to be able to upgrade the solar panels. That's just for anyone who's new. They get the idea of what the hideout does and what it's for. Now I'll go over each of the terminals and I'll break them down into kind of categories so you guys know what's going on. But the first three are security, vents, and illumination. So security, vents, and illumination, they are all just pure money sinks for Escape from Tarkov, and you need them to upgrade other sections within the hideout. On the far left here, we have the shooting range. It is a place where you can go in and test any gun you want, and you'll be able to shoot them and test it out. You can use unlimited ammo every time you shoot. I don't have any ammo on me, but every time you shoot, you can just press escape, go back in, and you'll be able to reshoot all the rounds again without any loss of ammunition. Now, there are four major crafting benches inside the hideout, being the lavatory, the workbench, nutrition, and med station. So lavatory and workbench are very much the same in they'll have different magazines, guns, and clothing and stuff like that that you can use to craft. There aren't any two major new ones for the lavatory. However, with the workbench, the one major one that you're going to know about right now is the gas analyzer. For all the people struggling with the gas analyzer, it is there now for you guys to use. Now, the tried and true item that I always been crafting in the workbench, if you are getting to the end of the workbench here, is the green gunpowder. You can buy the M67 grenades from Peacekeeper and the smoke grenades from Prepper, and you can literally just craft green gunpowder. If you want to max out crafting skill, you have to rotate your crafts, and I'll explain that in a second. But green gunpowder is an easy money maker. You nearly always make about 30,000 rubles, and it's good to go. The major reason why you want to upgrade, particularly the lavatory and the workbench, as early as possible is in the lavatory, you're going to get stuck at your 60 round found in raid, aka 545 mags. This one, I think you need lavatory level 2. I'm 90% confident. But you want to get lavatory 2 to get that done. And then on the workbench, there is a heap of stuff that will be able to help you out with, from circuit boards to your gas analyzers, which has just been added, spark plugs, the power cables. There's a full list of items that you're going to need: caps, wires, T-plugs. There's lots. So having these two upgraded is really good for your quest progression. And if you ever get stuck on an item, you can always just craft it by buying the items on the flea, crafting on the hideout, and it will come out as a found in raid item. Over here on nutrition, you can make money by making sugar. Early on, sugar won't sell for much. Wait about 3 months, it'll sell for about 80,000 rubles a piece. So if you want to just craft a heap of sugar and put it in nutrition containers and later on sell it for a lot more, it's an option. I just craft the sugar because I like to make my moonshine. Med station, this one's really helpful for getting some of your quests done, particularly getting a found in raid LEDX and found in raid defibs. If you are struggling to find a LEDX found in raid, you can craft it. I think it's about 36 hours later, 38 hours later, you will have it ready to go. Early on, Salewers are a bit of an issue for people particularly new at the game. Salewers you can craft at med station level 1. So find the items to get to the med station level 1. Bam, you can craft them every 38 minutes as long as you have these items, which I think you can buy 3 or 4 at level 1 just from therapists. So I think you'll have to find these in raid. You can shove them up your butt, and even if they're not found in raid, you can do the craft. Now for the stuff that you really should know about the hideout. That was more the baseline information to help you guys get started, but these is the major reasons why you want to upgrade your hideout and have it fully upgraded. Starting off on the far right being the library. Now, if you are going for Kappa container, the library is going to make you so much more experience points. It's insane. So an extra 16.35%. Its baseline, I believe, is around 15% when you first open it up. And as you level up your hideout management skill, this will go up to a maximum, if I'm not mistaken, 22.5% extra experience per raid. That's the actual experience you get in raid from killing, looting, finding new areas, all that kind of stuff. You'll get an extra 22% experience points. Now, that might not sound like a lot, but when you actually get to levels like 60 plus, it's a million XP per level. And that means you don't have to farm 220,000 XP of that level. It's a big difference, right? So getting your library unlocked and hideout management skill upgraded will help with that. And I'll touch on skills at the end. The practical skill buff as well. So every time you're leveling up your practical skills, this will now be leveled up faster, an extra 32%. And this isn't just 32% faster to get to the diminishing returns. That's on top. So previously, the way those skills work, if say you were able to get 10 skill points per level, per raid, and diminishing returns would kick in, and you'd eventually only stop at 10 skill points. Well, now when you have that library upgrade, you'll actually get to go to probably about 13, 14 skill points because of having that library skill. Now, it also gets to that point faster. So it's like a double bonus, and it really does speed up your leveling, which is why I always have my air filtering unit cranking and ready to go. It's an extra 43.6% in skill leveling. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot in the general scheme of things because it's quite expensive to run this. Now, it's only expensive if you make it expensive. So what I mean by that is I have in my hideout already a container filled with filters, and I will generally keep this full. And sometimes last wipe, I had 4 of these containers completely filled with filters very early on. FP 100 filters right now, 44,000 rubles. Give that a month and a half, they're going to be about 150 to 200,000 rubles. So I'm getting them at a third price right now. Water filters right now, probably sitting around about, I'm going to guess around 15 to 25,000. Late wipe, you're looking around 60,000. Look, 12 to 15,000. I could literally fill 2 of these containers, no problem. So, air filtering unit, I keep that going 24/7, and I'll explain how the skills level later on. Now, boost generator, I do craft my own moonshine. However, it's not worth it. All right, and I'll explain why. Well, it's not worth it right now. Later on, it is. Right now, water collector. Now, you're seeing me get those filters. They're about 15,000 rubles each. Every 5.5 hours, I make myself a purified water canister. All right. These right now are selling for 155,000 rubles, and they're only going up. The only reason I can think of them being so expensive is because people are doing crafts inside the nutrition unit, and there's a few here for like hot rods and stuff like that. So probably hot rods are expensive at the moment. They're 18k a pop. So people are making 360,000 rubles by buying these items and then making the hot rods. So that's probably why they're doing it. However, it's costing me 15,000 rubles to make 150,000 rubles every 5 hours. So, and by the way, the water filter lasts about 8 and a bit hours. So I can nearly make 2 of these from one water filter. So 15 to 16k is making me around about ish 250,000 rubles. Now, I'll keep that water collector going 24/7. If I could stay awake permanently, I would make sure it would. And that's that. Now, over here we have the generator. The generator is what powers your hideout. You need fuel in it to power it, and that's what keeps it cranking and keeps a lot of the stations open. It's important to always have fuel running in your generator. And now I'm going to go across to why. The skills for the hideout, there are 2. First one being the hideout management skill down the bottom here, and the second one being the crafting skill. Hideout management skill gives you an extra percentage base of all the buffs within the hideout and reduces the consumption of fuel in the hideout by 5% at the moment, but as a percentage as it goes up. This is at a maximum of 50% bonus to all the buffs within the hideout. So that's what I was talking about. 15% base experience points goes to 22.5 at max level. Hideout management skill also has an elite perk where you actually get to hold on to more bitcoins and have more fuels and stuff like that in. It's not a major thing, but it's a nice quality of life thing. The way hideout management skill is leveled, the first one is doing upgrades within the hideout. You'll get about 9 levels from that. The reason why I've got a little bit to go is because of the solar panels and Bitcoin farm level 3. You get about 9 levels from doing that. The other one is by having the fuel from the generator, the air filter going, and the water filter going. So I try and keep those 3 things running 24/7. If you were to keep it running 24/7 for about 2 months, I think it is, you will have max level. So it's always worth having your fuel running 24/7, even if you aren't playing that day. Keep your fuel in there. It's not too expensive, and if you can't make money, watch one of my other guides on how to make money. Scav runs literally just run straight out of factory. You've got enough money to pay for your fuel for the day. All right, load into a factory scav run straight to the extract, vendor it all, and you should have 100,000 rubles to buy another fuel if you need to. All right, crafting skill is going to reduce the speed in which it takes to craft something. And the way it works is when you craft an item in your hideout, it gives you 2.5 skill points, unless it's changed. This is what it used to be at least. 2.5 skill points for every craft you do. But if you do the same craft again, it goes down to 1 skill point and then nothing. So you need to rotate. So if you're doing the green gunpowder first, you do that one. And you switch over to like a wires and then switch back to the green gunpowder. Each time you'll get 2.5 as long as you keep rotating it. There's also meant to be an extra thing on top that if the period of which it takes to do a craft also gives an extra bonus. So if it takes a full day to craft something, it should give you about, I think it was about 3 or 4 skill points from taking a whole day. So there's an option there if you want to, if you're going to be away for a day, do a longer craft. I haven't confirmed it for this wipe, but about 2 wipes ago, that's exactly how the numbers worked. And that's how you have that information for you there, or like at least I'm informing you about that there. So now that I've covered all those ones, there is pretty much 3 things left to show you. The solar panels, the Bitcoin farm, and the scav case. I'll start with the scav case. This one is like gambling. If you played games like Diablo or Path of Exile, some games have gambling mechanics within there where you pay a bit of money, you get some random items. With the scav case, you can pick what type of gamble you want to do, from moonshine, intel docs, or cash, and they'll give you items based on that. The moonshine gives you the most amount of items and the highest quality. However, it takes the longest. This is reduced by your scav rep. So you have a really high scav rep, this actually time gets reduced. So it's worth having a high scav rep. It doesn't affect the quality of items though. Intel will give you most likely keys, and the moonshine will have a high chance of giving you like streamer items, so stuff you need for the kappa container. Cash is all a bit random. So I usually just stick with the moonshine and just do that every time it comes off cooldown. And it's a bit of fun. Sometimes you get some really good stuff. Some people get like lab key cards and stuff, which are worth a lot. You generally never come behind. If you do, like other ones will make up for it. So overall, you nearly always come out in front. And if you don't, one of the future ones will make up for it. Now, Bitcoin farm has 3 levels. The reason why I don't have level 3 yet is because I'm still leveling up or getting the money together for solar panels. But upgrading a hideout completely is very expensive, and solar panels is the most expensive. I've got the math sitting right here. It is about 22 million rubles to get the solar panels installed with the extra 25 graphics cards into the Bitcoin farm. So Bitcoin farm works like this. You get Bitcoin farm level 1, you put 1 graphics card in there. It takes about a day and a half. I think about 30 hours to get 1 graphics card. You put 10 graphics cards in there, it cuts it down to about 25 hours, if I'm not mistaken, about 1 a day. And then when you get 25 graphics cards in there, it goes down to just under 20 hours. Now, if you were to put that in another 25 graphics cards and get it to 50, I do believe it should be around 13 hours time, which means you just get under 2 Bitcoins per day. Now, Bitcoins are selling for around 300,000 rubles, which means if you were going to play for a long period of the wipe, say 2 months, you will make your money back if you get the solar panels. So solar panels will make your fuel consumption less, and then, which you're going to be doing anyway, so don't take that into the equation. It's not worth it. You want to have your hideout management skill up so you get more experience points and more buffs for leveling up your skills. So a lot of people say, oh, but what about the fuel consumption? You should be running your fuel 24/7. It's really not that hard to chuck in a fuel can to get, you buy them off Jaeger 2, and it keeps the generator running. Now with the graphics cards, the earlier you can buy them in the wipe, the more money you make. The later you wait, the more expensive it's going to be. Graphics cards late wipe will cost you anywhere between 600 and 1,000 and 1,000,000 rubles. Right now they're 400,000 rubles, and they're staying around there for a while at least. So I'm already got my 25. I'm going to be probably buying the next 25 even before I get the solar panels upgrade, just because I know they're going to start going up more and more, particularly once I release this video. So get your graphics cards earlier on in the wipe. You'll get your money returned faster. The wipes usually go for about 6 months. If you're going to play for a good few months of it, this is 100% worthwhile getting. If you're the kind of person that's not going to play for much longer than say a month, I wouldn't bother going past Bitcoin farm level 2, because then you're still going to get a Bitcoin per day, which is 300,000 rubles. And it's just a nice little extra cash income on the side. Another cool thing is if you do find graphics cards in raid and you put them in the Bitcoin farm, you could sell them later on to make more money back. When the graphics cards go to 800,000 rubles, well, then you can sell the graphics cards there and make more money that way too. And as you find other graphics cards when you die, because they're in your container, you can slot them inside your Bitcoin farm. So that's generally how I roll with that. Now, the last thing I will touch on is the stash upgrade. If you do have Edge of Darkness, this is a massive benefit to you. You will have level 4 stash upgrade already. Now, I don't believe Edge of Darkness is pay to win, but it is pay for a massive head start. If you want to get the full stash upgrade all the way up to the very end, it's going to cost you about 30 to 35 million rubles. For me, at this stage of the wipe, I could probably get that in around about 15 hours, just running different places like on Lighthouse and Interchange, getting all those barter trade items and selling them on the flea. You should be able to comfortably make about 2 million rubles an hour if you know what you're doing. All right, and I'm going to be posting out a few guides to how to look for valuable items and stuff. But really, like that's about how long it's going to take you, about 15 hours. So if you know what you're doing, you've got about a 15-hour disadvantage on top of all the other stuff you need to get done for the hideout. I'd highly recommend getting the first hideout upgrade straight away. That should be your first aim with your money. But as well as that, getting your scav junk boxes. Now, as you're doing your quest, you'll get scav junk boxes. Get at least 3 before level 15. All right. Scav run, just go vendor all the shit you get from your scav run and then just keep buying these. You want to fill these up as much as possible. And I'll thank my dad for the way that we sort these. The first one is, I just name it number 1s, and then that's all the 1-slot items. Number 2, you put all the 2-slot items in. Number 4, you put all the 4-slot items in. And at the end of your raids, you just chuck that stuff across. You can have some extra stuff there for dailies, and the stuff you know you need for quest, you keep them there and you go with that. If you know you need an item for your hideout, stuff it up your butt, right? If you die, it's no longer found in raid, but you can still use it to upgrade your hideout. And same with crafts in the hideout. So it's always worthwhile putting items that you know you need for your hideout in your butt, and then you can take the benefit from that. I'm going to clap here just in case I forgot at the start, but I'm fairly confident I did. Now, one other spot that I forgot to talk about was the Intel Center. I did say the stash was going to be the last one. Intel Center, as it levels up, is actually really amazing. So it gives your scav cooldown timer, it reduces your scav cooldown timer. This is also increased by your hideout management skill, which is why you need that fuel constantly going. Scav timer is at 38.15% reduction. By the time I have hideout management max, this will be pretty much 50% reduction, as well as my scav rep. I end up getting about a 4-minute scav timer, which means I can load into a scav raid, go straight to the extract, go to the lobby, sell the stuff on the flea that I got, and then I'll pretty much be able to go straight back into another scav raid. So this is why it's definitely worth getting positive karma on your scav and also upgrading your hideout as well. You get quest money reward boost. Obviously, that's not going to be as beneficial later on as you do more and more quests, but there are some quests that do give a lot of money, so it doesn't hurt to get an extra, 16% cash. Insurance return time, not a big deal. It doesn't really mean too much. The flea market commission drop of 32.7% is quite considerable if you are trying to make a lot of money on the flea market. But if you're selling an item that usually, say it sells for 100,000 rubles and it costs, 30,000 rubles to put it up for sale, that's now been reduced down to 20,000 rubles, which means you've now got an extra 10,000 rubles profit. So all this stuff does add up. I guess the way to word it is if you're going to play the game a lot over this wipe, which I do believe it's going to be quite a long wipe, you will make more money the earlier you get your hideout upgraded, and it'll be more beneficial to you in the long run. All right, I'm going to wrap this one up here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I tried to jam pack as much information in there for you as possible. I know it's a bit of a long-winded one, but like I said, I'm just trying to give you guys the best and most up-to-date information I can and give you the guys the right direction to go if you are going to play this game a lot, or if you are not going to play it a lot, don't waste your time kind of thing. So thanks for watching. If you liked the video, like and comment for the YouTube algorithm. It really does help out. Share it with your friends if they're new to Tarkov. On my other channel, the Pestily TV channel, if it's not live yet, it will be very soon. It's starting Christmas Eve. I've got a duo series filmed from the end of last wipe, showing me going into a raid, trying to get 4 PMC kills in every raid, every map, to get a completion for the task of killing 4 on every raid, or every map, sorry. And that's as a duo with Red Ops. It's a lot of fun. We've edited it specifically for YouTube. Go check that out in the link below. Also, live on my Twitch channel on the 28th and 30th of this month, of December, I'm going to be having drops. I'll be live 24 hours on my live stream, and there's going to be a lot of other fun shenanigans going on there too. So if you haven't seen my live stream, definitely those 2 are the ones to be there. So besides that, guys, thanks so much for watching. And lastly, I'll see you next time.